Now, on a different note, across the way, yesterday a small band of MAGA extremists plunged Congress into pandemonium. For the first time in American history, a Speaker of the House of Representatives has been removed from his position at the hands of radicals that he empowered from day one. What happened yesterday is a failure entirely of the House Republicans' own doing, a disaster in the making, to the great detriment of Congress and to the detriment of the American people. Speaker Boehner, Speaker Ryan, and now Speaker McCarthy have all learned the same hard lesson. You cannot allow the hard right to run the House or the country, and all three of them were chased out by the MAGA right. You cannot allow a small band of MAGA extremists, which represent just a very small percentage of the views of the country, to tell the overwhelming majority of Americans what to do. But Republican problems with MAGA extremism seep far deeper than any single leader. MAGA extremism is a poison that the House GOP has refused to confront for years. And until the mainstream House Republicans deal with this issue, the chaos will continue. I thought House Republicans would have finally realized the dangers of MAGA extremism after what happened last fall. But year after year, they end up making the same mistake, and it always leads to disaster. By now, I hope it's obvious. MAGA extremism is not good for the House Republican leadership. It is not good for the GOP. It is not good for Congress. And MAGA extremism is disastrous for the country. If MAGA Republicans had their way, they'd take our country back all the way to the 19th century. They'd turn the clock back radically on women's choice, on voting rights, on workplace protections, on education, on corporate greed, on the environment. They would disfigure our precious democracy, all for a handful of greedy, very wealthy people who just want to not have anything to do with the rest of us. The MAGA agenda is a dark and dangerous vision of America, one most people overwhelmingly reject. Even so, they are the ones running the show right now in the House, GOP. We find ourselves in a dangerous situation. With about 40 days to go before the government shuts down, the House has ground completely to a halt. Until Republicans stop their infighting, the House can vote on no bills, no appropriations work can get done. If, God forbid, some national crisis were to occur that demands immediate action, the House would be unable to quickly respond. So let me say this to the next Speaker of the House, whomever that may be. Think carefully about what happened to your predecessors before trying to coddle the hard right. Each of your predecessors got burnt each time. I urge the next Speaker not to make the same mistake, not just for their own future, but for the country's. Whoever the House elects as Speaker will not be able to ignore the realities of divided government, no matter what the hard right demands. The need for bipartisanship will not change. We will need bipartisanship to keep the government open. We will need it to finish the appropriations process. We will need it to make life better for the American people. For the good of the country, I urge my Republican colleagues in the House to once and for all accept that reality. If not, it is my fear, deep fear, that the chaos from yesterday is just the beginning.